What's happening with the engine? Why aren't you building the engine? What's happening with the car? Why aren't you doing videos of the cars? Well, probably the kind of comments that I would be receiving if I was any kind of legitimate YouTuber making car build videos, but I'm not. I'm fucking around. But I am right now. Ooh, that's dark. So I brought my Pistons home from work. I still have one in here. So let's take a look at it real quick, and I'll show you guys what I'm doing, because I haven't done shit with the engine at all. So I'll show you. As you can see, thanks to this real nasty bag. Oh, got a little surface rust. I gotta clean. I'll clean it up. Actually, that's just fucking nastiness from the cleaner. So these are the pistons that came out. And there's only one. I actually am keeping track of it based on focus. You can sort of see the numbers there. There's numbers that I took pictures of when I took it apart. So I have the order and what they go in. And as you can see, it looks pretty clean now. I still have some stubborn carbon, especially in the ring grooves, which I don't want. So this is the last guy to get toyed with, because the other three are in that buddy right there, sitting in some ChemDip. Almost been an hour. Bought a bottle of Chem Tool spray-on, see if maybe I could just use that instead of the $30 fucking can, but no. So I'm letting them sit for an hour. Hopefully we'll get those deposits out of the ring grooves, because I really don't want to do it mechanically. But yeah, I had them sitting in ATF for about 2 weeks, and actually I hit the top of this with a 120 grit Rurlock fucking planes. Rurlock bristle disc. Clean it up. You can kind of see the nice little crosshatch on the top of the piston, but it's aluminum safe, the Rurlock disc. So I don't think these are fucking aluminum pistons. Don't know why you would. Probably steel. But cleaned up most of the hard deposits. Still have some in the RBB and the double aught and in my valve reliefs. But yeah, hopefully the other three look the same, so that'll hopefully clean them up. And why am I not doing updates? Well, I have my bearings. We put the bearings in. What I need to get are some thrust washers from, probably I'll get them from the dealership, but I also need to pick up 10 main cap bolts, because they have an angle, but I don't know if that angle that you put them to brings them up to their elastic limit or their plastic limit. Because if you don't know with torque specs, you know about torque to yield bolts like these are torque to yield bolts. Torque to yield bolts, generally you can know if they're torque to yield based off of if they require a degree after you torque them. However, that's not the case. There's actually two limits. There's three limits total. There's you have the amount of torque to run them down until you start actually torquing them down, and there's a second point called the elastic limit. The elastic limit is the amount of stretch a bolt can take. So this could stretch, but then when you release the torque, it will reform to its original size. There won't be any deformation. Oh, the joys of living next to an airport. There won't be any deformation of the bolt. It'll stretch and clamp down, and you can take it out and reuse it. That's perfectly fine. That is called the elastic limit. The third limit of a bolt is the plastic limit. Now, plastic, as you know, you can deform it, you can stretch it, but it won't break. But the moment you deform it and you stretch it, it's never going to go back to how it was. That's how the terms, by its elastic limit and plastic limit. Because elastic, like a rubber band, you can stretch it, and then once you release the tension, it goes back to the original shape. plastic, stretch it, doesn't not go to back to the original shape. So the plastic limit is usually what you torque to yield bolts to. And then once you remove it, you have to replace them because you've gone up to the plastic limit. Or you've gone some way in the plastic limit, and you can no longer reuse them. Now, past the plastic limit is where bolts start breaking. Like is when you take a piece of plastic and you stretch it, and you stretch it, and you stretch it, eventually the plastic snaps. That is the point of failure. So, I don't know if my main cap bolts, I don't know if they're torque to yield or not. I can't find any. The service manual doesn't say anything about measuring the bolts. These connecting rod bolts do have a specification for measuring them for use. I'm probably going to get new ones also, because fucking, of course. But I'm now currently bouncing in my head of, do I just buy new ones? They're going to run me like $60, $70. Or do I just say fuck it and I get together an ARP main cap stud kit and I run ARP bolts and nuts on my main cap. So that's a little harder to find. Lightning Motorsports has a kit because ARP does not sell a kit specifically for the main caps. It's kind of like a custom thing, but Lightning Motorsports does have one. I just want to get the engine in here. Gotta get put back together first. But that's where I am right now. I can't put the main cap on until I get those main bolts and the thrust washer is in. The thrust washer, imagine that this is the crank and the engine. My hand's the engine. When you put the clutch on it, the clutch pushes the entire crank because the crank is attached to the flywheel. Now, that movement can cause bad things in an engine. Now, the thrust washers limit that movement, so you don't have that much play in the crankshaft. So it'll just move a little bit, and that's the job of the thrust washers. Mine, I had them. I don't know where I put them. I probably just told the fucking machine shop to toss them out. I actually don't remember, so I'm just gonna put new ones in, and there you go. We'll put the new ones in, and then we could put some ultra flange around the main cap and bolt everything down, and then I can have the fun part of having to order some piston rings and some piston bearings. These ones look focus. They actually look okay, but we're doing new main bearings. We might as well do new connecting rod bearings because fuck it. And I also maybe Type S oil pump, and we're doing Type S oil pump. This was supposed to be a simple project. Okay, so yeah, guys. So these have been sitting. This one have soaked for 2 hours. This one's soaked for 1 hour. And the cool thing is, you can see where they were in the solution based on how clean the connecting rod is. See the gold, silver, gold, silver. So this, look at that fucking piston groove. Not a speck of carbon. I still have some in these oil ports, so I'm going to leave them soaking overnight. This one, who's only had an hour of soaking, I'm still going to give some love to it. I got a little knife. I'm sticking to the lettering and try scraping off that little last bit. But this, I like it. Just leave them sitting, soaking, and it just fucking comes right off. Except those little oil passages are annoying. So I grabbed that, poked a hole in, so hopefully that can get in there, soften it up, and then I'll figure it out. But yeah, this actually is working. These are almost coming out like brand new pistons. Like look at the stain it got rid of. Like look at that fucking defined line. I love this shit. I'm taking this to work. But I like this. Leave it in for lots of hours, and I guess I've just been scrubbing. I haven't really been doing it mechanically. Just scrubbing. So, oh, and wear gloves, because it's a solvent. Be nice to your hands. So I'm gonna stick these back in because it turns. This one only got an hour because I only thought I could fit 3, but I can fit 4. So I'm gonna let these guys sit overnight and see how it all turns out. But yeah, these are gonna be cleaned, and then they'll be ready for some piston rings. Yeah, and actually this only cost $30. This was like 6. I bought that just in case that worked. I could return that, but turned it out $30. Well worth it. Back to the face. Yeah, so that is the update of the engine. She's been sitting there for months, and I still have that giant pile of parts. We got our 6-speed transmission, HVAC, random odds and ends from the fucking engine. I keep going, when are you gonna get rid of that stuff? I just fucking got rid of the chassis. Bye! There's a parking spot now. And here's the Integra. There's my little 6-speed. I'm actually going to be selling her. I need to get a seat belt, power steering belt, alternator belt on her because she squeaks. She doesn't need an oil change, but I'm probably going to do that tomorrow. I'm not going to do it. I'm probably going to go take it down to Pep Boys. I know. Don't trust Pep Boys, but I'm going to bring it to a specific Pep Boys that my buddy who works for a Chevrolet dealership, he works at, and I want to fuck with him. So I'm going to bring it into him and be like, all right, and you get an oil change, and I want Caesar to do it. So Caesar's going to do my oil change, and I'm going to fuck with Caesar a little bit. The fuck happened to all these plants? Shit, this is like falling over. It's all fucking chopped up. I didn't chop it up. Who knows? But yeah, get its oil changed, and then I'll throw it up for sale. I do need to do a distributor O-ring on it because it's leaking from the distributor. Standard B series fun shit. Maybe some cam caps, cam seals. But yeah, she runs. It's gonna be sad to get rid of her, but I have the TSX I've been driving. I have that to build. Yeah, there we go. This video is getting long enough. And got a new shirt in, so if you know what it is, you know what it is. I had a fun conversation with my mom. She was like, "Oh, you got a shirt? Why'd you order a shirt with a guy's face on it?" And it's not like I can tell her. I can tell her what the guy's face is, or the website that it comes from. So, oh, hello, puppies. Okay. Well, now we showed off the dog, but yeah, I'm gonna cut the video off. It's been a fucking almost 15-minute video, probably less. But yeah, there's an update with the project and a little bit more of my ugly fucking mug for you to stare at. So enjoy.